First story. Confusion after cheating. Ex claimed I was abusive. It's been almost 2 months since my 34 am ex, 43th, of 7 years, who I lived with for a year, broke up with me after cheating on me and moving in with her AP. Today, I was chatting with my new roommate and she said it sounds like my ex manipulated me a lot during our relationship. I started reading up on manipulation tactics online and saw a lot of my ex's behavior reflected back at me. But it has me thinking about something my ex said to me prior to the breakup. My ex started seeing a therapist after D-Day, not for any introspective reasons, but to decide what to do, i.e. if she was going to stay with me or leave for her AP. After D-Day, I did the pick me dance pretty spectacularly. I tried everything I could possibly do to fix myself, change things I thought weren't working, be more romantic, be more spontaneous, be a better partner. I now regret this and see that it was a waste of my time, as nothing I could have done would have altered her decision made her not cheat, but I did it nonetheless. I was trying to save my relationship and fight for the person I loved, or at least the illusion of the person I thought she was. My therapist agrees she's a garden variety cheater. She said when asked for transparency and accountability, labels their partner abusive and controlling just so they can escape any real ownership. It has the lovely byproduct that they then use the supposed abuse to justify their cheating. I better go no contact with her and block her on all forms of communication. People like her are a cancer in your life. Let her infect someone else with her disease-ridden actions. You are more than reasonable and deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Don't second-guess yourself. You have values, she doesn't. Well, my ex used this against me. She found my behavior to be smothering. She told me that, when she was describing to her therapist that I had changed my behavior quickly, her therapist said I sounded emotionally abusive. This rocked my entire world. I even asked her if she believed that and she said no. How the hell is change abusive? I was trying to fix all the issues she pointed out, but, in my ex's mind, it became validation that I was the bad one, that I was the problem. Now, I know that no self-respecting therapist would say this, and what likely happened is that my ex said this was a concern of hers, and her therapist validated her feelings. I also know that she told her AP my therapist said BP is emotionally abusive. I saw it in texts. Regardless of what I know to be the logic explanation, I still cannot stop thinking about this. After reading a bunch of articles on manipulation tactics, this fear has grown in me. Some of these pages discuss word salad, a tactic used by narcissists to confuse their target. Well, I do a version of this when I am anxious. It's been a problem my entire life. My therapist said this was a symptom of my anxiety and OCD, where I basically cannot shut off my brain when it goes into fight or flight, and I end up word vomiting due to the anxiety. It's also a poor attempt to fix the situation by saying the right thing, which is strongly related to my family dynamic growing up. It's a type of compulsion. This happened a lot towards the end of my relationship because I was constantly in fight or flight. We'd have these long conversations where I just could not stop talking and we'd both walk away fatigued. I was living in an absolute panic state every day for months. Going hand in hand with this, my ex accused me of gaslighting her after she started cheating. This was a shock, as well. This past year, I was extremely burnt out from working 3 jobs and taking 3 classes. I was depressed because of this, as well as due to lingering grief following my brother's death. For a few months, I became very forgetful, as depression can impact short-term memory. This resulted in conversations between my ex and I where I'd remember things differently from her, and she'd say I was gaslighting her. She even said she wanted to record our conversations and play them back to me. This hurt my feelings, and she knew it because it is exactly what my mother said to me when I was a kid. She was actually gaslighting, lying to me, and would make these recording threats to try to control me. Funny enough, I haven't experienced any memory problems since the relationship has ended. My ex also said it was controlling of me to ask about her plans. I was genuinely curious, and to check her location after D-Day. I know that her accusing me of emotional abuse manipulation is, in fact, a manipulative tactic on the cheater's part. I can see that, even if I did one or two things that could be construed as manipulative, all of her actions and behaviors towards me after D-Day were manipulation tactics. But now I am left picking up all the pieces of who I thought I was. Her cheating and what she said to me have wrecked my understanding of myself. I always thought I was emotionally intelligent, kind, and loving. Now I am left questioning the very essence of my being, wondering if I was somehow the terrible, accursed partner all along. The lingering effects of cheating are really a mindfuck like no other. Good for me for realizing that the pick-me dance never works. All it does is make them lose even more respect for me, and losing self-respect. Pay no attention to whatever the cheater says because they all rewrite history and blame me for them cheating. My ex told all of our friends that I was always working and never home to do anything with her. She forgot to add that I was working OT to help pay for a new motor, which was a lifelong dream of her. It happened that I had the opportunity to work lots of OT, nights and weekends, and she was free to go out by herself. Then she had the balls to blame my working for her cheating. I had the same memory problem and even started worrying about it and went to get checked by a neurologist. I thought there was something wrong with my brain when I didn't remember going to a certain movie with her, or forgetting that she told me about a family picnic that she went to without me, etc. She insisted that there was something wrong with me, and I trusted her so much that I believed her. Come to find out, she and her AP went to the movie, and she took her to our family picnic and didn't even tell me about it. After 7 years of a good relationship, that's how little regard she had for me. She let me go in to get my brain checked rather than just telling me she wanted a separate. I know it doesn't feel like it now, but she did me a favor by cheating and getting the hell out to go live with her AP. She is not long-term girlfriend or wife material. I can't cope with OCD too well, and my brain will want to loop over and over the same things, trying to figure out where it went wrong and what it could have done better, like it's my fault she betrayed me. I got some advice from my boss to cut off the thoughts by saying stop and forcing myself to think of something else. I know I can go to the gym, do something off my bucket list, take a fun class, learn a new hobby, get out with friends, learn to cook, etc. That will give your brain something useful to do. Somehow distraction. Do not waste precious days of my life ruminating on how I could have kept her. Later I'll kick myself for letting her ruin so many days for mind. There is something wrong with her. I don't know, maybe from her childhood. It doesn't matter. A mature and healthy person would not have got involved with someone else behind my back. They would have come to MR and communicated that things aren't working and they no longer wanted to be with me. Instead, she took the coward's way out and blamed me. Be glad all the best didn't buy a house with her, get married, or have a gaggle of kids with her. Second story. I'm lost and angry. I need your lights. Hello everyone. It's been a while since I shared here. I'm still listening other video every day and I'm grateful for this channel. Even if I know we would all prefer not to be part of it. It's gonna be a long one, I'm sorry. So, D-Day 1-year anniversary is coming in 2 weeks. Background story. My 44M fiancé, 32F, cheated on me during 3 years, on and off with her AP, who wasn't aware of my existence. We separated for 2 months last fall, before choosing to try our. She is in therapy and so I am. I moved in with her in February. We've been together for 7 years but were living separated until then. She asked me to move in. Things were doing great in the last months. We have better communication, have opened heart conversations, etc. She discovered the roots of her infidelity while in therapy. Last month, we were having vacations in Europe and she asked me to marry her. We talks about having children, says that she is now so relieved to not have things to hide anymore. She gives me access to her phone and computer if I want to use them. Says that she now have the relationship she always wanted, blah blah, things she never really said before. During the first 6 years of our relationship, I always felt like something was off. I wasn't trusting her, but she always gaslighted me, saying I was crazy and things like that. I also always felt like there were more APs than just the one I've met with. While we were in vacations, I broke down. I told her that I was super scared to live another D-Day where I could face new informations regarding other guys she may have been with. I was crying while telling her that I don't ever want to live with those feelings again. She looked at me and said, "No, don't worry. You know everything. It won't happen again. I swear." Fast forward to today. She is out of the country for work since a few days. She is coming back home tomorrow. I've decided to use her desktop computer to check some email from my coworker. When the screen turned on, I saw 2 Instagram DM notifications from her Chrome browser. It was a guy who was saying, "I'll miss the person I thought you were," and it was just some fun with a friend. Simple and uncomplicated. I thought I was going to faint. My heart was beating so fast. I didn't know this guy. I texted her and she told me, "Don't open the message, don't look at it." So I did. I was shaking, I wanted to throw up. I discovered that they saw each other for coffee on Sunday, while she was at her work event in NYC. She texted him, "I'm on the way, so exhausted, but anyway. Thanks for the night, I missed your touch and caring." He said, "My pleasure, I can't wait." And then, this afternoon she texted him, "How are you? I'll back at the event. Can I see you?" No answer from him. Few minutes later, she texted, "I'll miss the person I thought you were." He then replied, "I'm sorry. Today is my son's birthday, anyway. You are still awesome to me, but now it's like that." And she texted back, "It was just some fun with a friend. Simple and uncomplicated." From scrolling their convo, I understood that they also saw each other at the same event at the beginning of the year because she said to him that she will miss having morning coffee with her friend. And I guess they also saw each other last year when he went, etc., etc. I started to cry like a baby. He was different, another AP, in another country. He was seeing her before D-Day. She lied to me last month when she said that I could never stumble upon new informations or APs because I knew everything. She gave me access to her devices, saying she has nothing to hide. I am freaking broken. I feel like I'm living another D-Day. I can't eat or sleep tonight. As far as I appreciated that he told her his attempt to son birthday, I totally hate the fact that she wants to meet up with him even if nothing happened. I always told her that the truth always comes to light, and that I'll now always trust my gut feeling. That's what I did when I saw the Instagram notifications. I feel crazy and I don't know how to deal with my emotions right now. I'm so sorry, this video is super long, but I really needed to write down everything. She is coming back tomorrow night and I don't know how to handle the situation. I feel like I now have another proof that he really treated me like the most stupidest man for 7 years. I took screenshot of the convo in case if she deletes them. I can't keep those feelings for myself, but I can't wrap my head around a scenario I can stick to for tomorrow night. I know she will be super exhausted from her trip, so I really don't know how to deal with that. I can't believe she thought it was a super genius idea to meet up with an AP. She is so stupid and I'm super angry tonight. Thanks for reading, my friends. Third story. I am 28, just found out that my wife, F25, has been cheating on me. I know I need to leave, but what steps should I take before doing so and confronting her? I am feeling deep and painful emotions right now, so please bear with this frantic post. Backstory. Our relationship is not typical. A few years ago my wife came out to me as bisexual, and I was supportive and comforting to her. Long story short, I decided that I wouldn't have a problem if she started exploring her repressed attraction to women, and I did not consider it cheating. My only rule was absolutely no men. We have had our ups and downs in this relationship, but overall it has been pretty good. From the very beginning of our relationship, we have both agreed that cheating is a deal breaker, and if either of us were unhappy and wanted someone else, we would just be honest about it and go our separate ways. We also have never felt the need to look through each other's phones. I trusted her completely. Now for what happened tonight. Things have been rough for us recently as far as our relationship goes, but I noticed a few weeks ago her behavior started to take a drastic change. She was much more emotionally distant, attached to her phone, and just generally not present. This has been eating at me for a while, and tonight I broke our privacy rule when I saw her phone unlocked on the bed, her sleeping by it. I feel terrible about it, but I couldn't help but look through her phone. It didn't take much scrolling through Snapchat to find that she has been snapping dirty pics with another guy from a place that we used to live. I don't know for sure how long it has been going on, as some of the snaps auto-delete, but the saved pictures are still there, and snippets of conversation suggest they have been discussing their relationship, or future relationship. It's hard to say for sure. I am typing this as she's sleeping next to me, and it's taking everything I have not to cry and scream. I can't even look at her, and I want to just go out on a drive and not come back. I know that I need to end things now, as cheating is a definite deal breaker for me. But I'm terrified of what comes next, and I don't know what to do or how to go about it from this point. Please, please help. I feel like I'm losing it and so full of raw pain right now. And please don't judge how our defined relationship was supposed to be. It worked for us. I'm sorry if this feels very all over the place. So my question is, what actions should I take from this point in time? Should I confront her or should I wait? What steps should I take? Thank you in advance. If I can clarify anything, I will do my best to. We currently live with my family, as we just moved back to our home state a few months ago. We have been house hunting together and planning our future out. I don't want her to know that I know yet, but I don't know how I'm going to look her in the eye tomorrow, let alone pretend like nothing is wrong. We never went into specifics as to who would go where if one cheated, as our philosophy has always been the same. If we feel tempted to cheat, be honest and separate amicably. As far as cheating went, we trusted each other completely. I naively thought she would never do that to me, and that she would tell me if she was not with it anymore and wanted to see someone else. Cheating to me is a deal breaker in any form. I feel like I will never be able to trust her again. Divorce is inevitable at this point, but I want to make sure I'm in a better position to do so. I've calmed down some since posting this and am thinking a little more clearly. I want to make sure all paperwork is ready to go before letting her know that I know, as hard as that's going to be. I am going to try and speak to an attorney later today, or at least hopefully set up a consult. I have no reason to believe that she will make the divorce difficult, but then again, I didn't believe she would do this either. Thank you for the advice, friend.